finally get to see the Bloodline show up on SmackDown. They take out Jimmy. As a hooded fellow comes to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
This brother named Tama Tonga. I don't know if I heard. Were there any reports of Tama Tonga?
I did see it like a while back.
Yeah. I'm saying like
his way, basically.
But last week.
Maybe a month
before last week.
Yeah.
But nothing indicating that he would be making an appearance on SmackDown as a as a Bloodline member.
No. I thought the timeline was just doing what they do, like they put stuff in the air and just sometimes it just doesn't happen.
What were your thoughts on Tama Tonga's WWE debut?
I mean, they couldn't have positioned him any better. Like, he comes out, they've added a new wrinkle to the bloodline, and the fact that Solo seems to be the heir apparent, or is at least like taking charge. He came out, he beat the shit out of someone, then immediately is now in a program with the bloodline and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's frightened as fuck.
Yes, he is.
Frightened he's been. They're like, who did this? It's like, order of the tribal chief. And now you're thinking like, well, who's the tribal chief? Like, if Roman didn't call Paul Heyman,
right?
Who's he talking about?
I guess my first question is if Roman lost the title, he's still the tribal chief, Mimi? How does that transfer of that distinction work when you're the tribal chief and then you lose that title?
So he's been telling a story from the very beginning that the title is what's feeding the family. The title is what keeps them on the top of the mountain. And he lost the title.
Mm-hmm.
When Solo came, the elders sent Solo. And so the elders, I would think, would still dictate who sits at the head of the table. He lost it.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little stuck on Solo being the tribal chief. I'm stuck because he's younger. He's still not as experienced. You know what I mean? And
we don't know if he's the tribal chief.
Right, but a lot of people are saying who is the tribal chief, and they're trying to say that maybe Solo has deemed himself the tribal chief. Because he's less experienced. I'm just thinking based off of what people are saying. He's less experienced than Tama Tonga. So why is Tama Tonga following him? And then people are saying The Rock might be the tribal chief, but he's not the tribal chief. He's referred as the high chief.
Well, maybe he's now the tribal chief because Roman lost.
Right. So I say this to say, when we go back and we're like, well, we're trying to figure out the distinction between high chief and tribal chief, on the graphic, it says high chief.
Yes, I did see that.
So that's where I'm like, could it be The Rock? You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. I think Tama Tonga showing up was great for the business because a lot of these guys go to, New Japan and they're super successful.
Facts.
And you know what I mean? For a very long time. And sometimes it just ends up that they're just known for New Japan. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. And for him to finally get here is, I think, incredible. And it was perfect. Just enough, not too much.
Yeah, well, okay, it's only been one episode. So, it's post-WrestleMania. It's only been one episode. We're going to find out a lot more in the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Shout out TDM.
Hey! How's it going?
It's going.
Hey, y'all.
We just give us some initial reactions on Tama Tonga making his WWE debut
with his fine ass. Looking good.
Yeah, look at
Hey, Joey.
You know who was looking good this week that
Hey,
people were
Gerard.
really shitting on was Sheamus. People were really shitting on Sheamus this
God
week.
damn it! Before we got to Sheamus,
Seamus, right?
I wanted to say something about Tama Tonga.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what the fuck it was, so I brought us back here for no reason. But
Tama,
We
I
were saying
do
he looks
believe,
good. We're saying Tama
I
Tonga
do
looks
not
good.
believe. I don't believe Solo, like Mimi was saying, the elders sent Solo to to get things
Handle.
help get things in order, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he can't take over on his own. He can't just go rogue and take over.
Well, no, that's why they're saying there's going to be a civil war.
What I was gonna say is without proper notification,
Clearance.
like motherfuckers. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, you gotta
Without
get
proper clearance. And who is the soldier to call the war? The soldier rarely calls the war and wins.
Facts.
So I would assume that he's getting a call from somewhere else. Being that he broke the phone.
He stomped shit out that phone. I like that shit.
I would assume it's the Rock.
Just like violence.
I do like but it meant something.
I was sick of those segments of Paul Heyman be like, the tribal chief has called me again. It's like, okay, stop calling. Eventually someone's got to show up.
He wanted to hit Paul. He can't. I think the thing is he can't beat Heyman up because they still need Heyman.
Why can he not beat Heyman up? Because he still falls under line.
Well, facts. But I also think he's good for business. I mean, Rock know that it's good. It's better to have Paul Heyman on your side right now than to not have Paul Heyman on your side. At some point, I think Paul Heyman is going to be on Bloodline Wolfpac as opposed to Bloodline Hollywood. It's going to happen.
Bloodline what?
All right.
Wolfpac.
Bloodline Wolfpac.
Right now,
Wolfpac. That was Wolfpac right there.
if the high chief, if the final boss is orchestrating a coup, if you will, of the bloodline,
that's what I believe.
You're looking at the beginning of the Bloodline Hollywood, I would call it.
Yeah, just as long as we don't get to Bloodline 2000, I'm fine with it.
We may. Well, that I think that's the thing. What you see Jimmy's down. At some point, Jey Uso and Jimmy are going to have reunite. They're going to reunite with Roman Reigns, and that's going to be Bloodline Wolfpac, and Heyman's going to be right along with them.
Really, you think they would be the Wolfpac?
Yeah.
Well, they're the ones that would be breaking off. So
just like the Wolfpac was Nash, it was Hall, it was Conan, it was the cool shit. They had the music.
Okay.
It's going back to it was the essence of the NWO where Hollywood was. I don't want to say a bunch of others, but I'm not saying it's going to be a 1-to-1 because at some point NWO Hollywood was dude and a bunch of lackeys, and this is not going to be that.
Right, because the original NWO was like the original 3 guys, then basically a bunch of jabronis, and then those jabronis stayed, and that was NWO Hollywood, where Hall and Nash basically spun off into Wolfpac, and that's where you had like Sting came in with the red face paint and became Wolfpac.
I didn't get the reference.
And they were red and black.
Gotcha.
Right.
I don't know.
The LWO, I think, was aligned with Wolfpac.
I'm 1000% in line with my cousin. If this happens, this is absolutely ass.
I agree that it would jump the shark, but I don't know how else are they going to get to Roman versus Rock? What's going to be the point of that without the title?
Question. Here's the bigger question, because in the past 2-year period, there have been several points where we've all questioned, like, they better pick up the pace on this Bloodline storyline. Like, what are they doing? And then, like, right when you think it's getting a little too much, it's like, bam, they do something that gets you back in. So have they garnered enough trust that you're willing to be like, okay, I see what they're doing. Let me, this is not the old regime anymore. Let's wait it out. Like, I'm going to give them the rope that they're looking for.
Sean Tragedy, I think that's a great question. I don't know which one of the Bloodline members joins the LWO, but I would not be surprised. Everybody's been waiting for more of the family to come through to the Bloodline, right? Every other day, someone say, "Oh, Jacob Fatu, Jacob Fatu,
Zilla Fatu's gonna show up."
I think it's too young. It's too soon for him.
For Jacob or Zilla, both of them.
Zilla, I think it's too soon for Zilla.
What if they start?
Maybe another year or two, but I think he goes to NXT though.
I was gonna say maybe they start Bloodline 2000 starts in NXT, and it's a bunch of the younger ones. Ava's watching them down. See, Ava's watching them down there because she's got the. Come on, man.
I mean, Paul Heyman said if last year Paul Heyman said we're only in the third inning, so what? Now we're in like the fifth inning.
Something like that, yeah. If what people are saying is next year we're going to be getting Rock versus Roman, yeah. I would assume they're going to be drawing the storyline out somehow between now and March, especially with The Rock being in and out of the Fed.
Listen, they got to keep that mana running strong.
The mana.
I think they need to feed some women into the Bloodline too. It's been impactful every time, like you said, every time it feels like they're going down, they do something and it pops right back up. I think that the introduction to new members is good, but I think they need women. I think it would be helpful for that locker room.
Like who?
That division.
Tamina should have been involved. Tamina could have been a silent enforcer.
Yeah.
She's looked at as a mother in the locker room.
Yeah.
She was with the Usos when they debuted.
That's right.
Oh, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I guess she would be Bloodline Hollywood and have Naomi jump in.
Yeah, but they only got one person to fight.
That's how they always look at what was the 6-man street fight at WrestleMania Sunday? It was the 3 guys fought, and then when the one woman came in, B-Fab came in and kicked their head off. That's what they do anyway.
Or they can just spin off a different, like they can be a part of the group, but maybe create something else outside of that for the other women. It doesn't necessarily. They don't necessarily. They can still have this dotted line, but still kind of,
It would just take 2 of them to like get Tamina, get Naomi together, and Naomi turns on Bianca.
Tamina retired,
but she could be like a Heyman. Yeah. She could be a Heyman, right? She could be a what did you say, an enforcer or something like that? Yeah, she could do that with the ladies. And have them act.
Fam said
we're gonna get the tag team of Malcolm and Eddie, and they're gonna.
Fam said this is the Tubi thematic version of the Bloodline story. Yeah, it could be.
I don't fantasy books. So.